Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for this evening, Monday, August 18th, 2014. Of course, the Summerslam Aftermath. And not only will I be reviewing Raw tonight, since I didn't actually make a proper Summerslam review, since I was at a concert last night and watched it later on demand on the network, for only $9.99. I'll be reviewing SummerSlam as well by giving you my thoughts on certain matches during certain points of the show. Now, it's gonna tonight coming out for SummerSlam. It was a fun one tonight, very intriguing one with a great main event that should have been the match of SummerSlam, which I'll get to that. But I think it was like the beginning of a new era, some would say. Well, first off, we have a lot of new champions. They were crowned at SummerSlam last night, including, especially the main thing, a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But most importantly, it was the end of an era, specifically because tonight, officially, the new logo of the company is revealed. Now, we know this logo as the company logo for the network. Now it's officially the logo for the entire company. It's going to be an end of an era. You know, I love the new logo and all, but I think a lot of fans would feel the same way as I do. It's kind of sad to see the curved logo go away. You know, the old school logo that was WWF Attitude logo for so long. And then, of course, was taken out. It has been a logo for the company for a long time. You know, that logo has become as iconic as the old school 80s logo. So, farewell curved logo, hello, the new logo, and new graphics for Raw as well. And we mix up tonight's tonight and kind of another new song as well, doing background. So, very sad to see the old logo go, but liking the new changes. You know, gotta make room for change, man. But the more things change, the more they stay the same as the Authority kicked off Raw again. More importantly, a victorious Stephanie McMahon. I'll say this about Stephanie and Brie Bella's match last night. It's the Russell match at the SummerSlam. The match was entertaining. Of course, it was fun. You know, it kind of lived up to the hype because it was so hyped up. And it was a very intriguing matchup. I'll give credit for that. And Stephanie doesn't wrestle that often anymore. But if Stephanie dresses up like she did last night at SummerSlam, let her wrestle more often. Did she look fucking hot in that outfit or what? She looked very seductive in that wrestling outfit. Seriously, if she wants to wrestle a lot more, and if she's going to wear that when she wrestles, wrestle more often, bitch. And of course, the big backstab. We did see, of course, I could have thought there was going to be something screwy. You know, we should have known that Triple H was going to get involved. But I mean, no one really thought there would be a sister backstabbing, which we saw with Nikki Bella turning on Brie Bella last night. We would see Nikki Bella come out with the Authority, or Pacific Stephanie, coming at the D-Bryce music with the parody shirt instead of yes, yes, yes. You know, Steph. It was kind of weird. But trolling it is. But anyway, that's what the Authority does. Out-troll the wrestling trolls. Anyway, we saw Nikki Bella came out saying that she felt backstabbed by Brie herself because she was like relegated to the background, but it was all about Brie, you know. That's the whole scenario. Kind of like the same scenario with all brother versus all sibling rivalries in the company. One's always jealous of the other getting the spotlight. Whether it's Owen and Brett, the last real blood sibling rivalry, because you've had sibling rivalries in the past in the company, but mostly have been like storyline brothers, like Edge and Christian and Kane and Taker. Sorry to spoil that for you if you didn't know that. If you're oblivious, Kane and Taker aren't really brothers. But this is like blood siblings. And I think this whole Brie Bella, Nikki Bella feud kind of reminds me, like how it's starting, kind of reminds me of the Taker-Kane feud. Even though they're not technically brothers. It's kind of like the same thing, because when Taker first got attacked by Kane, he wouldn't fight Kane at first. It took him some persuasion to finally get physical with Kane. And that's kind of what's happening with Nikki and Brie. Nikki slapped Brie again tonight, and Brie didn't retaliate. But it's going to take a little bit of persuasion to get Brie to finally find the nerve and the courage to finally fight her own sister. And that's what's going to happen eventually. We're going to see these two wrestle. You know, it's going to take Brie some time to realize that her sister's turned, and now she has to retaliate. It's going to take her time to say, oh my God, I'm going to beat up my own sibling. Especially in the public eye. Well, she has to find that courage. She's going to fight that sister one day. Maybe at the next pay-per-view, but it's Night of Champions. Unless it's pregame. So we'll see how this whole feud develops. And it's going to be intriguing to see this. You know, the Nikki Bella, Brie Bella feud will be very intriguing to see how this feud unravels in the next weeks to come. Now, on to our first matchup of Raw. We have the Wyatt family members, Harper and Warren, of course celebrating after their leader, Bray Wyatt, got the victory over Chris Jericho last night, and all saved by Bray Wyatt and Jericho's match at SummerSlam. It was way better than Battleground. Not just because Bray won, finally getting a clean victory, but also the match was more exciting. You know, like there was great action between both guys. It was better than the Battleground match. Like I said, not just because Bray won. It was more action-packed. I think both guys were ready for each other. And there was some great moves in that match, especially the double Sister Abigail. One in the barricade, and of course one in the ring that signaled the end of the match. And it could give Bray finally some momentum back. You know what I mean? And the next guy Bray Wyatt feuds, Bray Wyatt better be a winner than a loser, like with John Cena feud. But at least we saw Bray Wyatt win against Jericho and clean with no Wyatt interference, as both Warren and Harper were banned for the match at SummerSlam. So let's see Bray win. Let's hope he feuds with somebody else and he ends up benefiting from it instead of not benefiting like he did with Cena. And get back momentum on his side. But Harper and Warren needs momentum back on their side. They were once considered number one contenders for the tag team titles. They may be pushed aside as new teams are coming through to challenge the Usos. It could pose a threat to the Usos. Especially the team that the Wyatts took on tonight. I call this team the world's strongest tag team. Big Show and Mark Henry tonight. Now, Harper and Warren did pretty well, these two guys. You know, they stood toe-to-toe with them. I'll give them credit. They stood the ground against Big Show and Mark Henry, especially how fucking tough they are and how big they are, and especially with Warren and Harper. They have a big height and, more importantly, a weight advantage. But I think Harper and Warren held their own against these two guys. They really dominated, despite being dominated themselves by the world's strongest tag team. And I'm not kidding. Big Show and Mark Henry could be a threat for the tag team titles if they were heels. You know, the fun is baby faces, but if they were monster heels, they would really be a real big threat to the Usos. If they were like monster heel, just dominant, they would just destroy the Usos if they were heels. But heels or not, speaking of heels, forgot to mention Nikki Bella, heel fail. She turned heel. In her heel turn, she tripped on her heel during her entrance. Anyway, despite Harper and Warren getting the advantage later on with some great double team moves, it was a double team KO and a world's strongest slam that gave Mark Henry and Big Show the victory. So there you go. Great dominant tag team. Well, they're a fun tag team too, especially seeing from the interview on the app. They have good chemistry together in the ring and also during interviews on the app. They need to update the app, though. They need to update with the new logo. But I don't think they should, because it'd be the last remnants of the old logo. You know, like I said, a little piece of me died tonight with the old logo dying. Because it's been an iconic logo. It was the Attitude Era logo, you know. But I like the new logo nonetheless. Because they've been quietly transitioning to the new logo for a while. You know, they used the logo for the network. You've been seeing it placed in latest WWE stuff. You know, using it for the logo for WrestleMania 31 and for 2K15. You've been seeing it quietly transition. But tonight was the coming out party for the new logo tonight. And new graphics too for Raw. So you go, well, give me a Big Show. Gets the victory against Harper and Warren, who did pretty well. Like I said, held their own and did some great double team work. But in the end, the strong team was outpowered. But it's going to be kind of weird to see if Mark Henry and Big Show will go on to feud against the tag team champions if Mark Henry may want to feud with Rusev. Later on in the evening, we would see Mark Henry interfere in a Rusev segment. Following his victory over Jack Swagger, I'll get to that match as we get to Jack Swagger's match later on in the evening. But first, let's get down to a woman who really got a big victory at SummerSlam, Paige. Of course, she regained the Divas Championship in a really good match against AJ. After losing on Raw the night after Money in the Bank and losing at Battleground, I think the SummerSlam match was better than Battleground. We had a lot of Battleground rematches at SummerSlam, but this was a pretty fun match again, very physical, and the feud's been very built up. With I think Paige is getting way more over as a heel, more heat than a babyface, especially compared to the night when AJ returned. AJ got a way bigger pop than Paige did. But I think Paige as a heel has done well. Especially last night, she was very vicious. And once again, like she did the first time she won the championship, she countered the Black Widow with a move of her own. But instead of countering the Black Widow with the Paige turner, she countered the Black Widow to the Rampage in the victory for Paige last night. But tonight, AJ got the last laugh as she got involved in Paige's match against Natalya. Now, as Paige was taking control early on against Natalya, really dominant, but slow pickings as she was taking her time to destroy her prey. Here comes AJ, skipping alongside the ring, distracting Paige long enough to get rolled up on Natalya. 1-2-3 victory for Natalya, pinning the Divas champion. Now, I would love to see Natalya get in a feud against Miss Paige, but Paige needs to finish her story with AJ first before she feuds with anybody else, especially when AJ interfered in Paige's match tonight. And Paige said earlier tonight that despite what happened last night, I will always love you, AJ. And I dedicate this match to you. And then AJ kind of said the same thing to Paige, kind of sarcastically, saying that I will always love you, Paige. I respect you. And I want to shake your hand. But before any physical confrontation would take place, Paige would scurry out of the ring before AJ could do damage. But this feud far from over, in my opinion. The match on SummerSlam was pretty good. Very good action pack. Not bad for a Divas match. I'll give that credit. Not bad for a Divas match. I think Paige and AJ are pretty good athletes. It could really renovate the Divas division big time. Now on to our next segment. Speaking of new champions, of course, all the new champions and current tag team champions, still tag champions, Usos, all got new belts with the new logo. But no new belt was more relevant and more noticeable than Brock Lesnar's new WWE Championship belt, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt. Obviously, they have to make the new belt with the new logo, but it's now just one belt. They officially retired the gold belt, the World Heavyweight title belt, and go back to using one belt instead of two belts. Just one unified WWE World Heavyweight Championship with the new WWE logo on it, and on the side, Brock Lesnar's logo on the side belts. That was kind of cool addition. Because you see it on the side of the WWE Championship belt, you see like John Cena's You Can't See Me logo and the Rock's Bomber Bull logo on the sides. But now you have Brock Lesnar's logos on the side. That was kind of a cool touch. As we would see the new champion be crowned by the Authority. With Paul Heyman delivering yet another Heyman pipe bomb. Well, you know, another great Heyman promo. And it was an unmerciless, glorified beatdown last night. Like, you see Super Cena matches all the time in the main event for SummerSlam. Was no exception. It looked like another Super Cena match because Cena got his ass beat, because you see this before. Cena gets his ass beat for 10 minutes, then makes the miraculous comeback and gets the victory. But unlike in Hollywood, where SummerSlam was, there was no happy ending for John Cena's fight, showing fight and never giving up. The 16 suplexes took its toll, and the 3 F5s, including the one 30 seconds into it. Brock Lesnar gets the victory. Now, there's pros and cons of Brock Lesnar being champion. Pro is, biggest pro, John Cena's not champion. That's the biggest pro. Con is, 2 big cons. One, Lesnar's a part-timer. Now, that may change now that he's a champion. He may want to go full-time. Now he's champion, he has to be full-time. And the other big con is, all of his matches are predictable. You mean John Cena's matches are predictable? Brock Lesnar matches will be just unmerciless, just glorified fucking beatdowns. Like, every guy he faces, he's gonna get fucking squashed to death. You know what I mean? I would watch the network for the pay-per-views, and every time Lesnar would come on, I would change the channel. Because I know what's gonna happen. A fucking Lesnar beatdown. It's like watching him on UFC. He just beats everybody up. And that's what's gonna happen every time Lesnar defends the title. Just an unmerciless, glorified fucking beatdown. And it's just one-sided. They said it was one-sided. And that's the understatement of the motherfucking century. That it was a fucking one-sided match. It was a one-sided match. And at least Lesnar wrestled. I'll give Lesnar credit for at least wrestling with the suplexes and stuff. You know, finally doing some weird wrestling moves. And this is the first time he's been champion since 2003. And I liked Lesnar when he first came in. but he forgot how to be a sports entertainer when he came back. Eat, sleep, repeat, suplex, repeat. I did like Heyman's promo. And, of course, the $9.99 promos still haunted us the evening. And the crowd was interesting in Vegas, too. I need to mention that. The crowd in Vegas was good. And this is the same crowd. You know, we talk about bandwagon fans when it comes to sports teams. When sports teams are good, people jump on the bandwagon. And I think there's a lot of bandwagon Lesnar fans that 6 months ago, you booed his ass out the building when he beat Taker. Now you're cheering him? It's all because he beat Cena, that's why. It's like, if you put anybody against Rusev, people are going to cheer him because the hatred for Rusev sees through everything. And same thing, if you put anyone against Cena, the hatred for Cena will see through because they want anyone to beat Cena, no matter who it is. Even if it's a merciless beast, a monster, the conqueror that is Brock Lesnar. We'll see what he does as a champion. But I just hope Cena doesn't get a rematch automatically. Cena wasn't on Raw tonight. He will be on Raw next week. But I would not be surprised if Cena does get a rematch at Night of Champions. And Cena is making a movie. 2 movies, as we all know. A movie with Amy Schumer called Wrecked. Shipwrecked. And The Nest with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. So, we'll see how Lesnar does as champion. I'll give him a chance, but it's just going to be fucking beat down after beat down every month. Now, on with the next scenario. Speaking of going back to new champions, we crowned a new IC champion last night. Happy revenge after getting being last eliminated from the Battle Royal Battleground. Dolph Ziggler got the ultimate revenge on Miz by beating him again. 2 weeks ago, they had a great Raw match. And last night's SummerSlam match was also as good. I think the Raw match 2 weeks ago was still better. But the SummerSlam match wasn't that bad either. Great action from these two guys. I'll give Miz credit for at least trying to wrestle, despite that ridiculous white jacket he wore both nights. And the figure 4 really did damage to Ziggy's ankle, despite tricking the ankle and getting more paint added onto it, but being put in the figure 4. On one knee, Ziggler got the victory, delivering a zigzag in the famous zigzag ended it with the 1-2-3 victory at SummerSlam and a new IC champion. And this could finally make Ziggler get a big push again. Something that we saw the reaction that Ziggler got when he almost won the championship at Battleground before Miz, who was playing possum the whole time, sneaking on the bottom rope in that Battle Royal, got the victory. So they finally realized the fans want Ziggler. Since D-Boy's not around, push Ziggy. You know, this could be the way to get Ziggler back in the main card. To be back in the main event picture. And this match was decent tonight. And another decent action-packed matchup from these two guys. With great moves. Because Miz did try to put the figure 4 on again on Ziggy. And of course the ankle injury, putting that knee in that figure 4 kind of cost Miz the matchup. The damage that Miz did, he beat up Ziggler outside the ring as well. And Ziggler tried his big moves as well. But of course, unfortunately for Miz, and fortunately for us Ziggler fans, Miz did not win the championship back. But Miz did win by count out after damaging that knee so bad that Ziggler had to be counted out. But Ziggler had the last laugh by delivering the zigzag after the matchup, though. But it's good to see both your new champions, 2 out of the 3 new champions at SummerSlam, lost their matches tonight. Paige, with a little help interference from AJ, lost her match against Natalya. And technically, Dolph kept the title, but he lost by count out by Miz. But I think this feud is going to continue on with Miz and Ziggler. And it was a good matchup as well. Very good back and forth match once again by both these guys. And probably another rematch in Night of Champions. A lot of rematches coming up, but hey, that's what feuds are for. You know, rematch and the rematch. Now on to the next matchup, Jack Swagger against Cesaro. Now, of course, Swagger took on Rusev last night in a flag match. Now, I've been lauding Rusev. This is probably Rusev's biggest challenge because he actually, speaking of people being put in ankle locks and figure 4s, getting a leg injured, we saw Swagger get the ankle lock on Rusev just moments before the match. And we saw Rusev having a handicap for once. You know, he had to battle the ankle during the entire fight. And it was actually a pretty interesting match between these two guys. I'll give Rusev credit. This is probably one of his best matches. especially at a fight with a handicap, being taken out early with the knee injury. And it was just a very physical matchup and very personal because there was a flag match at the wall. And I thought it was going to end various times in the matchup, especially with Swagger putting on the Patriot lock again against Rusev. And I thought that was it. You know what I mean? And I was like, there was no way that Rusev was going to lose. Because, come on, we're in Los Angeles. But we haven't seen Rusev lose yet. And once again, Rusev got the victory with the accolade. Jack never really tapped out, though. He passed out. And he later kicked Zeb Coulter in the head. So Zeb Coulter was unable to accompany Swagger to the ring against Cesaro. And Swagger trying to get back in the game after his loss against Rusev. And of course, Swagger delivered an interview, which is not often because Swagger has a great mouthpiece in Zeb Coulter. But when Swagger needs to be his own mouthpiece, he does pretty well with it. You know, but Zeb Coulter is a great mouthpiece after all. So Swagger's like, we get back down, we go down, we get back up. Tough Americans, you know, we the people. And Swagger, like I said, trying to get back in the game. And trying to recapture old glory. And trying to reclaim that glory after losing pride last night was on the line, losing to Rusev. But despite Swagger's best efforts, delivering all of his big moves, including Patriot Lock and of course the Swagger Bomb, and great action with him and his former partner Cesaro. Cesaro, who's also been in dire need of a big push lately, got the victory, focusing on Jack's injured ribs and capitalizing on that with the neutralizer in the victory for Cesaro, who's been floundering around lately. He talked to Heyman, which is a good thing, because I thought him with Heyman would be a good thing. But looking back on it, I called Cesaro's decision to team up with Heyman a misstep. Because all that Heyman did was talk about Lesnar the entire time. Now he can jump with Lesnar. Now that Lesnar's champion, Heyman can talk about Lesnar and brag about it however he wants and as long as he wants, whenever he wants, because now he's with Lesnar. He didn't need to talk about Lesnar when he's trying to advocate for Cesaro. And plus Cesaro needs to be back to swing. That was one other reason why he hasn't been doing well lately. That momentum's been sliding down for him. He got rid of the swing, which got him a big pop. So, but I think with this Swagger win, we always have the Waka comparisons with tag teams when they break up. One's the Marty Jannetty, one's the Shawn Michaels. It's too hard to tell. It's too early to tell if Swagger's gonna be the Marty or if Cesaro's the Marty. Cesaro's been the Marty because he's been getting jobs lately. Or if Cesaro getting a victory over Swagger tonight, it could give some more momentum to come back in the title picture as well. And of course, later on, we would see Rusev come out bragging about the victory. And we see Mark Henry come out. Now, what's Mark Henry going to do? Is he going to feud with Big Show against Usos? Or is he going to feud against Rusev? Especially delivering the world's strongest slam and a big splash on Rusev. And it wasn't really a match, but still. Mark Henry could really fucking beat Rusev. And I think Rusev's lucky that wasn't a real match. He would have, if that was a real match, Rusev's undefeated streak would have been over. And speaking of guys who had undefeated streak, I need to mention that after Swagger's match, Bo Dallas came out to kind of console Swagger. We could see that feud develop. That'd be interesting to see Swagger against Bo Dallas. It could really rub off on Bo Dallas if he could have a real feud with Swagger. He hasn't been doing much ever since his undefeated streak ended. But we were at Viva Bo Vegas. Add Bo to everything. So, but all you gotta do is believe. Anyway. Oh, the next matchup, a 6-man tag team affair. Involving Roman Reigns, teaming up with Sheamus and RVD. Team up against Randy Orton and Ryback. Now, we had Orton against Reigns last night at SummerSlam. And the match was decent. Reigns, in my mind, carried the match because both these guys just do two things. Punch, kick, repeat. Punch, kick, repeat. You know, eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. We have punch, kick, repeat. Punch, kick, repeat. RKO, repeat. But Woman has some big area moves. And there's some good spots in that match, especially when Woman was trying to go for a big spear. He didn't nail a Superman punch. But he was going for the spear, but it was caught in midair with an RKO. That was a cool move. We've seen the midair through the top rope, but not midair while running in midair through the Irish whip and the ropes. That was kind of a cool spot. But of course, Woman did nail the spear as he blocked. Woman did block Orton because Orton did RKO many times. He was looking to do the punt, but he got blocked from punting Woman. Got the RKO blocked should have butt kick block. End up with the spear for Roman in the victory at SummerSlam. And I think a lot of people would have saw Reigns against Triple H. But I think the match will still happen. One day we'll see Roman Reigns against Triple H. And Triple H has the balls to wrestle. But now that Lesnar's champion, Triple H doesn't want to overshadow Lesnar at every pay-per-view now. And that's why Triple H didn't want to wrestle Reigns. Because he didn't want to overshadow Lesnar. That's what I've read. Now, tonight we see Reigns team up with, against Sheamus and RVD against Reigns' opponent. Was SummerSlam on against Ryback. So, and Vegas, this is the home of Ryback. And you saw a lot of people saying, we want Ryback. It's kind of weird to hear Vegas say, we want Ryback. And I thought Canada. And I thought Canada was bizarre world. They were chanting for Ryback. This Vegas, you heard like Ryback chants, of course, feed me more chants. Ryback looked okay in the matchup. And so did everybody else. It was a fun 6-man tag, I'll say that much. And, but last minute and a half was like intense with all the big finishers all in a row. You had the RKO, the Bro Kick, the Spear, the Superman Punch, ending with the 5-star Frog Splash from Rob Van Dam to give his team the victory. It's cool to see Roman Reigns' team win, but it was more cool to see RVD win for the team instead of Reigns. And the crowd was intense during this matchup as well. The crowd was really good tonight in Vegas. I think there was some leftovers because a lot of people traveled. It's like the War after WrestleMania. People who traveled out of the country to go to WrestleMania stayed for the War after. Same with SummerSlam. A lot of people from out of the country traveled to SummerSlam. And most of them stayed to go to Vegas for the War after SummerSlam. So there you go. Very decent tag team matchup. Very fun tag team matchup between these 6 guys. With, like I said, Reigns' team gets the victory. Now on to another tag team matchup involving the tag team champs, the Usos, taking on Goldust and Stardust. Now, Usos are in dire need of new competition. Now, is the Ascension ever going to transfer from NXT to WWE? Are they ever going to be in the main roster? Or what? Ascension could be a dominating tag team in the WWE if they debut ever in the company. They've been the longest reigning NXT tag team champions for so long, and they will just be vicious in the company. If they get booked properly, if they properly get promoted right. And we see the new tag team Mark Henry and Big Show could feud against Usos unless Mark Henry wants to feud with Wyatt with Rusev, as we see later on in the evening. But then we have another team could be sneaking in the title picture. Former tag team champions, the Dust Busters, as JBL would call them. Who are we going to call? Dust Busters! I had to do that. We had, of course, Golden Stardust taking on the Usos. And this was an interesting tag team affair. And Usos coming in Uso crazy with great double team moves. But then Golden Stardust looked really good in the match. Especially when Stardust got in there. Looking good. Looking freaky, as always. Stardust. And I was actually surprised to see the Usos lose. After, the matches with the riots and all, to see him lose to Stardust with one of the Usos getting rolled up from Stardust of all people and getting the victory. It'd be intriguing to see Star and Goldust be tag team champions. Now, they've been tag team champions as Cody Rhodes and Goldust. But it'd be weird to see Stardust as a tag team champion. But we'll see, because like I said, Uso needs some competition. But now that Star and Goldust beat him, that could give him in line. Put him in line for a title shot. This wasn't a title after all. But with Ascension creeping in, and now Mark Henry Big Show could be a dominant force if they would really focus on it. And turn heel. Like I said, Usos could finally get some real competition. Now, with our next scenario, which was the match of the night, in my humble opinion. The match that should have been at SummerSlam. Dean Ambrose against Seth Rollins. Now, these guys should have had at SummerSlam a no DQ match, a Falls Count Anywhere match, a no holds barred match. What match did they have at SummerSlam? A fucking lumberjack match. I was very pessimistic. I was like, damn, these guys should do better than a lumberjack match. Because I hated it. I hated it on paper because I was like, the fucking lumberjacks are going to ruin the match. Because these guys need a fucking brawl, not a fucking gimmicky match like a lumberjack match where the lumberjacks are going to get involved. Maybe too involved. But, in actuality, the lumberjack match wasn't really that bad. They did fight in the crowd eventually. To the lumberjacks wearing their ugly heads. And there were some good spots. Especially with them the lumberjacks trying to pull Rollins back in. Dragging his ass to get a big splash from Ambrose from off the top. That was a cool little spot. It was actually very chaotic in the lumberjack match. Despite the fact that midway towards the end, the lumberjacks did get involved. Especially after Kane got involved. Interfering after Ambrose delivered the finishing move of Rollins on him. You know, the curb stomp. Kane came in. Goldust came in to voice his opinion. And then the Brawl with the Lumberjacks came in. And amidst the chaos, Rollins would nail Ambrose with the Money in the Bank briefcase and 1-2-3 victory for Rollins. Now, like I said, they should have had a Falls Count Anywhere match. Well, we got made up for it by having this match tonight on Raw. After a backstage segment involving Ambrose pouring ice water on Rollins, of course, with the ALS challenge really trending right now. Thank God I haven't been challenged yet. We had, of course, the fans on the WWE app. If we didn't get enough, if we weren't already sick enough of endless promotion for the network, once again, endless promotion for the app, as the fans were chosen to pick a stip. Falls count, no DQ, no holds barred. Stipulations that should have been last night's match. But it was no. It was Falls Count Anywhere was the voting. I'll say this. If this match was on SummerSlam instead of Raw tonight, this would have brought the fucking house down. This proved why they needed to be in a Falls Count Anywhere match, not a fucking lumberjack match. This match was just fucking extreme, epic match. Great main event match for both these guys. And it's kind of a big responsibility for these two guys to headline Raw tonight. With no John Cena on the card tonight, you know, guys need to step up in this company. Young guys need to step up. And to give two young, hungry guys, a main event spot and let them run with it in a Falls Count Anywhere match gives WWE credit for finally giving the new guys some responsibility. And it was just a back and forth physical matchup. Like I said, this should have been a SummerSlam match in my mind. This makes up for it not being a SummerSlam, but in my mind, watching this match, I was like, if only this match was at SummerSlam, this would have torn the fucking roof off, especially the way it ended. There was this ball all over the arena. Weapons were used big time. There's some great spots in the matchup. One spot was Ambrose going up the top rope and getting nailed midair by Rollins with the kendo stick. Another spot was Rollins doing a suplex move on the top rope on top of a bunch of chairs. A bunch of chairs were laid out on the middle of the ring. He did a suplex on him, on Ambrose. That was a killer spot there. Another suplex was done by Ambrose through a table off the top. That was a killer spot. And of course, Kane, like he did last night, will get involved again tonight. Now I thought Kane's involvement would kind of ruin the match. Well, it kind of enhanced it a little bit. It was just a very physical match. It was the ball that I knew it was going to be. That should have been at SummerSlam. I keep repeating it. But this should have been a match at SummerSlam, not a fucking lumberjack match. But they did well with it. I'll give Rollins and Ambrose credit for rolling along with it. By going along with it and abiding by the lumberjack rules. But watching this match tonight proved why they should have had a false count at SummerSlam, not a lumberjack. And the ending was just insane, especially with Dirty Deeds attempt. And that's when Kane got involved physically, really. With Ambrose delivering the Dirty Deeds and when Kane pulled him out the ring. Kane got taken out by Ambrose for the time being, leading towards a Dirty Deeds on the table attempt, but then Kane would come in with the choke slam through a table. The table didn't break for that, nor did it break for Rollins' first attempt at the curb stomp, which he connected. But then a second attempt, and the ending was more vicious. Kane brought this table out, and he revealed on this table a bunch of cinder blocks. So he laid out Ambrose again, after getting back up from Ambrose taking them out, laid Ambrose in front of these cinder blocks, and with a running start from the tables, Ambrose got nailed with a curb stomp on top of these bricks. And then the match ended, and referees came out to take Ambrose out. Forgot to mention one other spot. Ambrose did like a running splash through the crowd from the announce table to the crowd on Rollins as well. It was a great epic spots, but that ending spot was very epic. Now, we know why the ending was what it was, with Ambrose being taken out by the curb stomp on the cinder blocks. Ambrose just got signed to make a movie for WWE Studios. I forgot what movie it was, but I read something about it yesterday. So it made kind of sense to see Ambrose get went out by taken out by Rollins with the curb stomp to write him out so he can make a movie. But this match was just great. Rollins won by kind of forfeit because they called off the match after the curb stomp on the box because, Ambrose wasn't physically able to compete anymore after being taken out with that vicious move on the box. That was a vicious hit. That was a sick hit. Sick ending there. It was kind of weird. You saw a curb stomp on the table and a choke slam on the table didn't break. But the cinder blocks got broken after the curb stomp. It also was weird. They didn't use the German announce table. It was kind of weird to see a side announce table on a wall. You'd always see like a Spanish announce table, or in this case, a German announce table on the pay-per-views, but not doing Raw. That was kind of intriguing to see that happen during Raw tonight. So, but I think when Ambrose comes back, this feud will continue because this match was just awesome. Just really epic main event match. This proved why their match at SummerSlam should have been a false count. I keep repeating it, but I'm just like, the Lumberjack match, I was like, fuck, man. They should have had a better stipulation, not a fucking Lumberjack match, because I knew the Lumberjack was going to ruin the match. But they did well with it. They did well under those circumstances. The Lumberjack match was better than I thought it was. But this false count anywhere match proved to me why it should have been the match at SummerSlam, not the Lumberjack. I keep saying it, but I need to stop repeating. I need to stop this review and end my review. Thank you all very much for watching my Raw review tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by a new review from Zach. And before I go, it's kind of weird to hear no main event for Night of Champions tonight. Because they always do this after a pay-per-view. On to the next one. Not main event for the next pay-per-view next night after a pay-per-view. But tonight they announced it. We're waiting for Cena to return to announce the rematch properly. That'll probably be next week. And I guess once again, that's it for my review. Thanks again. See you all later. Thank you again for watching. See you later. Oh yeah.